This video was brought to you by Skillshare. Hey, what's up? Noah, the vaguely hipstery artist guy here. As you no doubt already know, art is my life. I have so many ideas I want to share with the world, so many different ways I want to express myself. And I'm also probably like 19 or something, so I don't exactly have a lot of experience. That's exactly why Skillshare is such an invaluable resource. Skillshare is an online learning community where artists of all types can learn and hone their skills in whatever craft they choose. Whether that's writing or illustration or photography or even back-end stuff like marketing and web development. Classes include both a video lesson and a hands-on assignment and generally take about an hour to complete. So you can take as many or as few classes as you want and shape everything to perfectly fit your schedule. Right now, I'm taking a little break from my big projects to do some journaling. And guess what? There's a class on that. I'm gonna take Art Journaling for Self-Care, 3 Exercises for Reflection and Growth by Amanda Rach Lee. My journals are art too. It's just how some people roll. If you want to hone your creative skill with other like-minded artists, the first 1,000 people to hit the link down in the description will get a 1-month free trial of Skillshare Premium. Now, if you'll excuse me, I gotta go do something with my day so I can make a cool journal entry about it. Cause so far I've had pancakes, and that's basically it. Poofy little hat. E3! Not really though. Not actually E3, I guess. Yeah, really no idea why they didn't at least do the online show. Not a clue, not at all. I mean, everyone else is doing stuff. Everyone else is just business as usual. So yeah, who knows? Okay, so here's the thing. So most of the other companies are doing you know, like events and stuff around now. At the time of this recording, Nintendo has not announced anything. Not a thing. I am expecting them to. I am expecting a standard Nintendo Direct around the time when E3 Nintendo Direct would have been. No, it's not a guaranteed thing at all, but I'm going to move forward under the assumption that that will happen, and if it doesn't happen or doesn't happen with that exact timing, then this video can at least count for the next major Nintendo Direct, whenever that'll be, probably in June, but we'll see. So let's do it. Let's talk about E3 2022, Nintendo, what we think they're gonna do, predictions, wishes, all that different stuff. Let's go. So let's begin, as we usually do, with expectations. What can we reasonably expect to see at the next Nintendo Direct? Now, Nintendo obviously really packed their 2022 lineup with games, obviously some spilling over. You know, Breath of the Wild is now next year, but like there are still so many unreleased games that are in the pipeline. I don't actually expect a ton of new stuff. I think this is going to be really heavily focused on previously announced games. Xenoblade 3, the marketing machine for that game, is already running full speed with Nintendo just random tweets all over the place, so I expect maybe like a new kind of story trailer or something, but it's definitely going to make an appearance. Splatoon 2, definitely going to be there, coming out pretty soon. Still a lot that we don't know about it, so definitely gonna see Splatoon. Did I say 2? I wrote down 2. It's Splatoon 3. There's a lot of 2s and 3s and 4s in here. Splatoon 3. And it's probably not gonna just be a generic thing. It's probably gonna, you know, give us a new mode or like, you know, tell us more about like the story setup or something. I'm expecting this to be, you know, the bigger reveal of the game that we have had thus far. Bayonetta 3, it is not out of the question that it won't show up. You know, it happens where you get a reveal for a game and then the next Direct comes around and you don't hear more for a while, especially if there have been development issues with Bayonetta 3. But you know, like, yeah, this is a reasonable expectation that it'll be there and have a new trailer or something. It has been a while since the official reveal. Pokemon definitely gonna be there, but yeah, they usually like to do their own thing in their own presentations. I don't know if Pokemon Company has like a Pokemon Presents lined up for this month. It'd be really cool if they did. But it'll be mentioned. It'll just be like a little, you know, probably just a little, hey, this is the thing. Go pre-order it, I don't know. Advance Wars, I'm really not sure if we can go in expecting like a new release date. You never know with this kind of thing. Like I remember, you know, there have been times when Nintendo's had to like postpone the Direct because of what's going on in the world. But it's only ever by like a few days. So with this Advance Wars thing, I really don't know if they're like waiting for a massive change in what's going on, or if it's just kind of like they wanted to delay it by a bit. I really have no idea, but so I'm not sure about that one. We could get a new trailer for Advance Wars with a new release date, or they'll just kind of be quiet about it for a while. Switch Sports is already out, and by the time the Direct happens, Mario Strikers will be out, so no doubt, not a single little doubt in my mind, we can expect to see DLC for those two games, even if it's just simple little update stuff. Why did I really, like, until I was making this video, it didn't really hit me that Nintendo has two sports games really, really close together that are both probably going to have that thing where it's, like, updated over time, and it's interesting. But yeah, those two games definitely be there. Now we get to the meaty stuff. Breath of the Wild 2, can we expect it to be there? It's another one of those ones where it's like, okay, it got delayed into next spring, which means that September could be a really good time to reveal it, to give us the full thing, so we're not waiting too long. On the other hand, though, Nintendo loves to put Zelda stuff at E3 time. It's just, they've set a precedent for it. That's when they revealed Breath of the Wild. That's when they revealed the first trailer for Breath of the Wild 2, and then the second trailer for Breath of the Wild 2. It makes sense to me. I'm kind of at this point where it's like, just give it to us. Just do it. We've waited long enough. Even if we have to wait a little while after this, that's fine. So as far as expectations go, it's another one of those things where, yeah, could be Zelda. We could see it. We could also not. It wouldn't be un-Nintendo-like to just not mention Breath of the Wild 2, so we'll see. And then Metroid Prime 4, no expectations there. We really can't expect anything. A period of time has passed where they might have stuff to show. They might not. Can't get your hopes up. So I'm not gonna say I expect it, but there you go. And like, really, that's kind of all we can reasonably expect. You know, there are no more Smash reveals. That's just not a thing anymore. We already have all these games on the schedule, so it's just like we can't expect a whole lot, especially in terms of like big, huge reveals. I like there to be some big bombshells in any given Nintendo Direct, but you know, there have been years where they needed to give us something and then didn't. They had more of a need then and then didn't. So this year, they don't really need to, so I'm definitely not going to be surprised if they kind of don't. There's just so much stuff already happening. I can certainly hope. Oh, and then, you know, if there is a Switch Pro, you know, it's worth mentioning. If it is real, they're definitely going to want to, you know, if the OLED was like what they were going to do with the Switch Pro, but it became the OLED. But now if they actually do want to give us an upgraded Switch, if it's going to happen in the near future, definitely going to be, you know, a bundle with Breath of the Wild 2 or whatever, which means they probably won't announce it until later this year at, like, the earliest. So I don't expect any kind of new hardware here. So let's get into rumors. I am a little bit sad this year because we don't have much to go off of this year. We usually have so many ridiculous rumors, especially around E3 time. There's always all these alleged leaks and stuff, and we just don't have any of that this year. Am I just like missing things? There haven't been a lot of big, fat, juicy Nintendo rumors going around. I would say the most recent rumor has been about Game Boy and Game Boy Advance games coming to NSO. And that's kind of like half rumor, half expectation, because it's all but confirmed. It's, you know, they data mined it, and it seems really likely. So actually, like, that kind of is in my expectations. It's a perfectly fine time for them to reveal that kind of thing. You know, it's, I don't know, I feel like it's been long enough since N64. Maybe not. They have been weird and spacing these out really far, doing them more often at the end of the year. So if they do Game Boy, Game Boy Advance, it might be later in the year. But it wouldn't be out of the question for it to come up here. And then the only other real rumor we have is the DK game. Every other rumored game came true. All of them. Paper Mario was real, Metroid was real, the Mario 3D All-Stars collection was real. They're all real, so I'm just waiting for DK, and this rumor was, probably last year by now or something? So, there you go, we got a DK rumor. Is there gonna be a DK game at E3? If so, what's it gonna look like? Who's working on it? I don't think it's retro, but yeah, we'll talk more about that in a little bit. It's so weird not having more rumors and stuff like that. This whole entire season has been weird, just for like stuff to talk about, like I always do 2 parts to this pre-E3 thing, this pre-show, and both parts are usually like a half hour long. There's always so much to talk about, but we are flying through this. We are flying through this right now. Wishes. What's the stuff that I personally hope to see at the E3 Nintendo Direct that may or may not exist? Breath of the Wild 2, full reveal. Title, main mechanics, everything. I want it. It's just been too long, and yeah, like I said, even if we still have a while to go until it comes out, you know, 3/4 of a year, even if it might be a little smarter to give us everything like closer to Christmas or in a September Direct or something, I'm just done waiting. I just don't care. Just give it to us. Just do it. That's my wish. Just do it already. I can wait for the actual game. At this point, I'm more sick of waiting for the info on the game. Then Splatoon 3. The marketing for this has been a little bit weird, because like when it was revealed, it was kind of like, okay, we didn't even really know we needed a Splatoon 3. We just kind of thought they'd keep working with 2 or whatever, or like wait until the next system or something. So like, I'm still waiting for them to justify the sequel. It doesn't necessarily need like a really big, huge hook. If it is just more Splatoon, then that will be great, because Splatoon is great, and the team working on Splatoon is just incredible. Just incredible. But personally, I want a hook. I want, pun intended, I want some kind of hook of like, why is Splatoon 3 a thing? You know, is it a new mode that it hinges its kind of identity on? Is it like a really exciting new story? Like, why is this a sequel and not DLC? And more specifically, I'm looking for like a really substantial story. Splatoon 1 had a great little story thing, but it was a little bit short. And then 2 did the same thing again, where it was just like a really short, really simple thing. And then the DLC gave us a more substantial story. Just bake that in from the start. Give us a really, really cool, meaty campaign right from the start. And then Salmon Run. I was definitely excited that they chose to focus on Salmon Run for one of the first trailers. That's cool. I want it revamped. I don't want it just Salmon Run again with some slightly new things. I want a bunch more to do in Salmon Run. I don't know, I could probably do a whole video on that, what I want from a new Salmon Run. But that's what I'm really looking for. Give me something meaty, sink my teeth into. DK. I will be happy if it's real, but only if it's really cool. I mean, like, I've talked about this before. It's like 2D games, they just don't tend to do super well. They're just not as exciting as the big 3D ones, okay? Ready to go and all that. The thing is, Tropical Freeze is like the perfect 2D DK game. Like, Returns and Tropical Freeze are so good. You gonna top that? If you give us another 2D DK game, it has got to knock our socks off, or it's just gonna be another, like, good, you know, like, fine, another fine 2D platformer on Switch. Like, give DK the Kirby treatment. You gotta. It needs to be something new and fresh and 3D and interesting, or it's gotta be a better 2D platformer than Tropical Freeze. And I don't know how you do that. So it's at least gotta match it. So if DK is real, I want to watch the trailer and be excited to play it, instead of just like, that looks fun, yeah, I'll probably play that. I want to be hyped, you know? Moving on, I am tired of waiting for Super Mario Odyssey 2. I'm tired of waiting. I don't know what they're waiting for, but that's a big wish. Just something with Super Mario Odyssey, just do it, okay? It's been 5 years, like, just, what are you waiting for? 5 years was enough for them to make a whole brand new, completely revamped, again, Mario 3D game. So you just give us Odyssey 2, whatever, just something Mario, please. Metroid Prime 4, what can I say? I don't need much, you know? Like, I'm not banking on getting a full trailer, full reveal or anything. I want something. Last year, they gave us a mention, but then they went into Metroid Dread, and that was great. This year, an image, a small animation, anything. I don't even know why. That doesn't tell me anything about the game. Just give me something. Just give us something. We're hungry. We are hungry. So now for some more kind of vague wishes. Something left field. You know, it's always fun to just have something completely unexpected that did not leak. There were no rumors. It just completely takes us all off guard, and it's just awesome. Just something fun like that. Something fun for the headlines, you know? Us influencer slash journalist slash analyst slash all those awful words. We need something to do. And then, like, I want something new. You know, I mean, every Nintendo Direct, I want something new from Nintendo, but I want it to have that Nintendo flair, and I don't want it to be multiplayer. You know, like, I love it when they do a new IP, but when it's like, you know, like, just the Switch. Like, okay, 1-2 Switch, there's a new IP. I'm not interested in that. You know, and then, like, ARMS. Here's a new IP that doesn't, it's just a multiplayer game. It's mostly just, like, it's a good game, but, like, I want it to have that Nintendo flair, that fun, colorful charm, but be like a cool single-player game, like some big cool adventure. I want them to take a risk in really actually starting a new IP that's not mini games, that's not small, that's not multiplayer, you know? Something just new, like Splatoon. That's the perfect example of just like, this is very Nintendo, and it's new, and it is multiplayer, but there's a lot of other stuff to do. It's just something like that, something that's like, this is the new Nintendo thing. I know great, awesome IPs don't just grow on trees. They can't just pull one out of a hat. But hey, it's my wish list. I can wish for whatever I want. As always, I will hope to see some news of a non-canceled Retro Studios project, and we say, oh good, they didn't just lose everything and start from square one making Metroid Prime 4. They did have something they were working on, and every Direct, every year that goes by, it's less and less likely, but how much longer do I hold on to this one, to this wish? I mean, like, they haven't made a game in, what, like 8 years or something, so it's just kind of like, yeah, the hope is probably already gone, but I'll give them another 1 or 2. You know, another 1 or 2 before I give up hope completely. And then, what is it? You know what it is. You know what it is. You don't need me to say it. But I'll say it. It's Pikmin 4. I hope for Pikmin 4. I am not actively hoping as much. Now I'm pretty much like, you know, the whole like, oh, it's coming out soon or whatever. It's so long in the past. Obviously something went wrong. Development restarted or shifted or so, like, you know what I mean? Like, it's no longer a thing where we could be like, you know, Miyamoto, oh, he's working on the next game. It'll happen someday, but I just can't like actively wish for it anymore. It's going on the list at least. I'm just saying I'm not giving it a lot of energy, but it's on the list. I hope I get Pikmin 4. Though actually, you know what? I do have this to say. I, Arlo, am 100% certain that we will not see Pikmin 4 in the next Nintendo Direct. We will not see Pikmin 4. There will be no Pikmin 4, I'm sure. I bet $1,000. I bet 1,000 buckaroos that we will not see Pikmin 4 at the next Nintendo Direct. You mark my words, okay? I'm 100% sure. No Pikmin 4, okay? None. Not gonna happen. Boy, I sure will look embarrassed if it happens, huh? Yeah. We all know that never works, but, you know, we still gotta try. So moving on, it is time for predictions. What do I predict will happen at the Nintendo Direct? I don't have much this year. I really just don't have much. Like I said, the whole season's been weird. We don't have a lot to go off of. And I put so much energy into doing all those predictions for the predictions video, which is my 2022 predictions video. So go check out that video if you want to see all my my predictions for, I guess it'd be for E3 and for the whole year if you want to. I'm just gonna kind of lean on some of those predictions that I made. Mother Remake. I think Grezzo is working on a remake of Mother/Earthbound Beginnings, and we're gonna see it. It's gonna be at this E3. I didn't predict a Star Fox for E3 itself, but I did predict one for the year, so if we get one, I get points, even though we haven't had a Star Fox game yet, so it wouldn't be that weird. That would be cool, though. More specifically, I think Bayonetta 3 is gonna get delayed. I put that in the, it was a very specific, prediction in the predictions video. I don't know, it's been, maybe just because its development has been so weird and it's taken so long, I would not be surprised if they were like, hey, here's another trailer for Bayonetta 3, but we need a little bit more time, it's not gonna come out this year. Who knows there, though. And then, other than that, I predict a Mario something. I don't. It's not weird to predict a Mario thing at a Nintendo Direct, but like it just has been so long since Odyssey, and now like it's been well over a year since Bowser's Fury, and that wasn't even like a full new game. So just I think it's time for new Mario. I don't know if it's gonna be Super Peach Odyssey like I predicted in that video, but I don't know. Sure, I predict Mario. I don't know. Maybe more time does need to pass after Bowser's Fury. I don't really know. Who knows? I don't predict anything. The end. So this is the part of the pre-show where I would talk about the non-Nintendo companies and just kind of like my my wishes and predictions and all that stuff for them. But I got nothing. This year has just been weird. I don't know if it's because like when E3 is like over the course of 1 week. I know all the info is going to be like kind of concentrated there, kind of gathered. But now there are events all over the place. Some companies are having multiple events. Sony had one, but it seems like they might have another one. And I don't know. It's fuzzing up my brain. I can't. I don't know. I mean, I like plenty of non-Nintendo games, but I guess it's just not a ton going on right now. I mean, Resident Evil, we just had a new game last year, and we're getting the 4 remake next year, so it's not going to be like a new Resident Evil game. DLC for Village would be awesome. Elden Ring came out this year, so I just I don't really care about anything else anymore. Is it Elden Ring 2? No, I don't care. DLC would be cool, but it might be too early for that. I don't know. I think if there is one really big thing that would get me hyped, non-Nintendo thing, it's Playdead's next game. I've said that before. I'm just waiting for Playdead's next game. Limbo and Inside were so good. Inside especially was so good. I'm waiting so eagerly for the next game. It's gonna be set in space. We've had screenshots. Yeah, that's really it. That's the one that would make me very, very excited. Oh, also, Fumito Ueda, Ico, Shadow of the Colossus, Last Guardian. I just looked him up, and apparently him and his studio are working on a new game. I didn't realize this, and it's in this. He was talking about doing a first-person game or a shooter or something at some point, so I didn't know what he was doing. But yeah, it looks like it's that style of game. And all we have is a little teaser image, but I don't know, if I saw a trailer for that, I'd probably lose it. That's cool. But that's about it for non-Nintendo stuff. I don't know. I guess it just kind of feels like there's not a ton going on that has my attention. I'm sorry. And that is actually it for the E3 2022 pre-show. Wow. I mean, that's the shortest one I've ever done. It's only one video. Part of me wants to say sorry, and another part of me wants to say you're welcome. It's not the most exciting year in the world, but I am still very excited. I'm very much looking forward to it. Nintendo, their directs have been so good in recent years, or at least this last year, that I'm looking forward to whatever they cook up. And really, I'm not kidding. I don't need much of Prime 4. I don't need much at all. Just something. Just some little poof of its existence sparking out into the ether. These guys right here helping me out. I'm hoping with their powers combined, maybe we'll get just something, just something, Not much, Nintendo, not much at all. Just a teeny tiny something. Okay. Please, pretty please, go on down to the comments and let me know what you're hoping to see at this momentous, magical occasion, which may or may not actually happen. And in the meantime, I'm gonna go and be moderately excited for a thing which might be a thing. I'm gonna go over here now. E3! Woo! You know what? I'm still allowed to yell E3. I think that should be a rule. Even if there's no E3, you're still allowed to yell E3. It's still E3 season. E3! E3! E3!